Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Weedle, your World of Tanks YouTuber with the best hair, and then today I have Oyster Bay for you in the IS-7. Um, this isn't really a bad map, honestly. It plays very similar to Airfield, which is ironic because it has an airfield. I believe there is an obvious heavy flank over here. There's a few mediums that can play, mainly like the 440U. Um, this side best for mediums. Obviously, you can take heavy tanks over here because there's a lot of hold down positions and dunes and stuff that you can advance through. Do be cautious though. If you take like a platoon of 3 heavies over here and you leave this side really weak, they might take advantage of that and just sweep through and put you in a very bad position. And you're not going to take this area for free. They have some excellent sniping positions and fallback positions, and so just be cautious. If you go this route, you need to win it quickly. As a general standard play, I recommend taking your heavies here, mediums here, sniping TDs here, assault TDs here. The center of the map, there's this bush, that bush over there, just across from it, are excellent for scouting. You should absolutely blind fire those positions if you're here and here. Absolutely. There's almost always a heavy light tank that goes in there. I do not play this area. Um, just random reasons. I just don't think there's any damage to be had, so why go there? Um, there's a few things that happened in this battle that is the reason I chose it. One, it was a good game, obviously, but two, there's a lot of random things that happen in this match. I end up on both sides at some point. It had to pull out a lot of stops to carry this game. I'm going to talk about when to push, how to push, when you should fall back to some things. I had to pull out a lot of stops on this one to carry it, but it's an exciting match. So real quick, early shots. This little corridor right here. Just set up, and you're going to try to shoot something. It's usually going to be hold down. You're going to have to be kind of confident with your bullet sniping. Try to shoot. So the A phase, you can actually pin the mantlet on. That's what I was actually going for. Didn't hit it. Biggest thing here is kind of stay safe. Now, let's talk about lanes you can push. There's 2 lanes. There's the middle lane here. You can kind of push around here. You don't want to do that early because there's tanks that like to get out here, and it's really difficult to do so. In my opinion, you have to win the sniping portion of this. Is just cupola sniping, in my opinion. But if you don't win that and you push too early, you generally lose. All right, so let's talk about this road right here. This, at certain points of the game, is really good to push, but when to know how to push? Well, one, your mediums need to effectively be like fighting up to here and keeping these guys occupied. If these guys are sitting like right here and you try to push, they got little corridors right here that they can shoot you through. So you don't want to push too early on this top road. But certainly in the late game, look for that opportunity to advance through here. And I just came up here to check and make sure I was keeping them honest. I'm really not going to beat a IS-4 in this location, so I want to go back down here and see if I can't find some different shots. But periodically, I'll come back up here and just check and make sure that no one's advancing on my rear. My tank's here. Let's talk about where they're positioning. This guy, that's fine. He's getting this kind of corner. That's fine. There's always someone back here. I never get back here, honestly. I just don't think it's very good unless your team's losing and then you start getting shots. I don't like taking positions where I have to rely on my team losing. Let's talk about my 2 platoon mates. They got a little gun-ho here, and I don't recommend pushing this early because, I mean, same thing over there. Like, you got this tiny little corridor to fight through, and basically they're just kind of surround it, and you're just getting shot by multiple tanks. It's not a good location to kind of push, in my opinion, especially early. Once you can advance up through the middle and possibly the top or something, you create 2 lanes of avenue, then you can kind of push that. But we'll see how that works out for him. I see the Kranvong drive across, so again, I could shoot at an IS-4, I can see what this Kranvong's going to do. So I'm drive up here, just checking on the Kranvong. I want to know what he's doing. Is he going to just try to YOLO down this line? Sometimes they do. You got to be wary of that. And right now, I mean, it's almost 3 minutes of the game. Really haven't even fired. I don't even know if I fired a shot yet. So just looking at my map, I see that the IS-4 is moving up. The mediums, they're still kind of holding on over there just fine. There's a little bit of fighting. We've lost a couple of tanks, but Nothing looks like it's collapsing yet. Um, Try to put a shot in the IS-4. So let's talk about this. This is what's kind of happening. Is they're getting dogpiled in this small corridor and they're getting pushed back. They did manage to kill the mouse, but oftentimes, like I said, what happens is there's tanks out here. I just for my personal preference, I never go out here because I feel like you're stuck, and I don't like going to positions where I'm stuck. So like if this gets loses, you're just out there and you're kind of exposed, and I just don't find it to be very good. When the map first came out, I tried that a few times and with varying amounts of success, sometimes good, sometimes bad. So let's talk about this right here. I noticed my pin indicators going green. I really don't know where that was, and I do get a couple of pins here. But what I would noticed is it's whenever he rocked forward, I would get the pin indicator. So I just time my shot for when it's rocking forward, and get one to go in. Again, not sure where that was really going because I thought he was side scraped pretty good, but apparently I'm guessing he's a little bit above me, and then when he's kind of rocking, there's a place I'm kind of shooting up under his tank. Uh, or something. I don't really know. But I got two to go in using that strat. So just be looking for like a general pattern. Like if you see like something like that where it's just kind of, you see the pin indicator when he's rocking, just try to time your shot. I mean, it's what you do, got to do. So let's talk about why I'm falling back right here. So my two teammates died, and I didn't know if they would try to go ahead and just shove their numbers around. They're already got two tanks in here that are pushing through. And worst case scenario, they could have someone coming up through here. So I could potentially have tanks on three different angles. The reason I'm falling back to right here is I pretty much just limit that. There's just this little corridor from right here to right here that I have to watch instead of having to watch three different angles. So I'm just limiting the angles that they can attack me from. This is actually a lot of times is my just last stand position. If we're losing, I'll kind of come just back here, and you can just keep backing up the hill. Sometimes you can get 2 to 3 shots doing this. They do push on out. I get the kill shot. Now I'm up to 1400 damage. So now I'm just looking at the map and trying to evaluate where everything is. I've decided that they're not pushing around the bottom, so that only leaves me with 2. I do check just to see if there's anything to my left, and I'm going to try and engage this IS-4, which is over extended himself, and hopefully I can just get him out of the game and bring it back up to even a little bit. It's a very, very even match right now. That's fine. I got higher alpha. I'll take that to get him out of the battle. The 215B is also kind of back there. Not too worried because he just fired. Alright, so let's talk about this position I'm in right now. Kranvong or IS-4. I do want to try to back this Kranvong up a little bit. And I thought my tank here would be able to finish off the IS-4. The 215B was hanging back. So I felt safe from this flank, and I didn't think they were going to push this way because I had the bat chat. So I want to try to see what I can do with this Kranvong. Now, I can't really push him because my mediums are dead on the other side. So on the other side, the only thing I have left is the grill that's sitting in the back. So I don't want to just shove myself up there and risk getting farmed out by medium tanks that are across from me. So I'm going back to the middle, and I need to finish off this IS-4, which he's not dead yet. He managed to get it. So the 215B's moved up. So let's talk about positioning. Fortunately, I got 2 tanks back here, and they should be able to keep an eye on this corridor if the KV Kranvong comes back, because the Kranvong would have to come pretty wide to get shots as long as I'm playing forward. So just keeping that aware, and it's, again, with maps like in situations like this, it's literally about managing your angles. Yellow track shot. I see the Kranvong's back. He can't shoot me, so I'm going to try to finish off this 215B. I did consider going for the Kranvong, but barring my team seemed to be struggling with this lane, I felt it better to just get that 215B finished off. So I'm now up to 4,300 damage and 800 assist, all from tracking. See what I can do with this Kranvong right quick. Now I do make a slight misplay here. Don't necessarily take my own advice. So at this situation in the game, um, I kind of have that predator response where I want to kind of push on through, but I kind of start realizing it may not be a good idea because they're all on the other side of the map. Um, and I actually almost got pinned right there. So let's talk about the position I'm in. The grill's here. This guy's a one shot if they high roll. My Leo he's fine. He can take some sniping shots from up here. This guy's fairly healthy, but he hasn't done much all game, so eh. I need to figure out how best to assault these mediums because they still got three mediums up plus a Leo, so they got four mediums. I think about the best way to go. If I go this way, if they're still up here, I got a lot of open ground to kind of cover. So what I decide to do is swing back around where I can have the grill and have the M4Y support me as I go through here. And here, this route, I just have a lot more cover and kind of taking them on. So that's what I end up choosing. It turns out that may be the correct choice, but when I get over here, I'm going to talk about some medium positions. Um, so far, I mean, this is a pretty decent game. I mean, 4,800 damage and a kill is most of the time I'd be quite happy with that. Um, but again, these games, like, how often do I have to flex over here? Very rarely, but it's happened a few times. The lanes, again, a lot of times it's just about winning. So once you've kind of won those the portion where you're just kind of shooting across the distances there, then you can kind of push up because you've kind of got them beat down a little bit. But if you push into them where they're really healthy, like my two platoon mates, um, it can go very badly, especially with the amount of angles that they can have. So get him finished off quick. I had two choices. Let's talk about these positions. Good sniping position. Absolutely be blind firing this area right here. And if you're on the other side, this area. There's light tanks that like to get in there. This position over here, pretty strong from both sides, but I don't like going over there. The reason I don't like going over there is getting stuck. You'll hear me say that a lot. I don't like going to positions where it's kind of like that's a pretty high risk position. And for me to go to a high risk position like that, it's got to be a pretty high reward. The downside is if they just back up, you can't do anything, but you can't push out of it either because if they see you over there, they'll probably just stay hold down, and if you start running out, you're gonna just take a lot of fire. So I don't like going to those positions, but can be pretty effective. Again, there's sandbars here. You can kind of push up through here. It's just kind of a slow thing. Mediums can play this map a lot more aggressively than heavies, in my opinion. But again, it's slow playing it. You got to take position by position. You got to be working with your teammates. Um, this map takes some coordination, to be honest. See if I can't sneak by. And I thought they wouldn't be expecting me to see me there, but apparently they were watching. So, 5,400 damage, 800 spotting. I've found their pattern, and yeah, one of the most annoying parts about the current state of Artie is getting stunned. That round doesn't manage to go in. So the 121, poorly played on his part. I think he got tracked. At least I hope he was tracked because he just sat there. Managed to get the kill, 5,600 damage. And I'm just taking this opportunity since Patton wasn't watching to advance. My guys are also moving up with me. Pretty much at this point, we've got it won. And this is just, power of having your heavies alive at the end of the game. Like, medium tanks are going to really struggle fighting you in a brawl. You got more HP. Oftentimes you have almost as much DPM. In brawling situations like this, like medium tanks will lose most of the time. So that's the reason I suggest going over here with your heavy tanks and winning this, because if the heavy tanks over here win pretty easily and you're stuck with mediums, it's going to be really difficult to pull out a victory. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get any more damage in this one, but 6,130 damage, 800 assists is a solid game. It's going to be about it for the review. As far as moving up, like I said, if you can keep advancing slowly and then kind of crawl up in this area and win it out with your mediums. It's just kind of working together, finding angles, finding vision, letting the guys that are sniping to get their shots in. Not the worst medium map, certainly not the best. Um, Heavy tank play, like I said, just remember if you're going to push this top road, have control. Like if your mediums are up in here, they've probably got this preoccupied, then you can kind of push over and start fighting. Same thing with the other side. Like once you're kind of pushing this way and you're kind of pushing, you can push up straight that middle road. It's not as dangerous as it looks. There's a lot of places to kind of hide and tuck in and side scrape off of as you kind of advancing through there. Um, Overall, I like this map. I know a lot of people seem to kind of hate it, but I do kind of like it. Um, it's a lot like airfield though. Just keep that airfield mentality. Manage your angles. That's the number one thing. Manage your angles. Um, Two, don't get carried away and push too early because everything is a tight corridor up here, so it's just funnels. And when you're trying to push through a funnel, you can take again manage your angles. You can take fire from a lot of different directions, and you can get killed very quickly if you push too early. So win the trades. Push after you've kind of won those. Just keep an eye on what's happening over here too. So with all that, you can have success on this map. Um, if you like my content, guys, please subscribe. It really helps me out. But that's it, and I hope to see you in some matches. Good luck to you, and stay tuned for another one.